How's it going?
Hi.
Really well.
Can you see us?
I can see you guys, and I just want to say a massive, massive thank you for this season of Afterlife. I'm glad I didn't speak to you yesterday. I was a blubbering.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like us when we read the scripts, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got to learn how many lines.
Well, Tony, you've probably, I don't know if you've got it easy or you've got it really tough, because you don't have many lines to learn. But does that make it easier or harder? Because you have to convey so many emotions without saying a word.
The hardest thing is keeping a straight face, to be honest with you. When you've got, because oddly, when you've got some stuff to say, it's easier to not laugh, I think. If you know you're in shot and you haven't got anything to say for a whole scene, if you then mess it up, like there's no excuse. It's the worst thing to do. If you've got one line and you miss, which I do miss my cue loads of times, that's the most embarrassing way to mess up a scene. If you've got a monologue, people forgive you. They're like, oh, well, he's got a lot of lines to do. And if you've just got to say, all right, or big time, and you get that wrong, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, Diane, you had quite a few lines this season. I love.
Yes, I got more lines this season.
You did.
It's not a competition.
She was well liked this season. Diane, we got to see a really different side of Kath. What did you love about getting to play that side of her? And what are you going to miss most about getting to be Kath?
Yeah, it was nice playing a different side to her. Just purely as an actor, it's just nice to do something a little bit different. But it's great playing Kath, because right from the beginning, we decided that she was going to be someone the type of person that would go on The Apprentice. That was the breakdown, and it's she's such a specific type of person that it's great fun to play. You know, she's got all this bravado and confidence, but underneath that surface, it's all bubbling under really, and she's actually quite lonely. It's just so nice to play.
Yeah.
Jo, what was the last day on set like for you? Because every time I've been speaking to you guys on and off since like the very first season, every time I speak to one of you, it is all about how much fun it is on set, and you really do turn up and you're friends who get to do what you love most. So what is it like on the very last day when you know, yes, you're going to see each other again, let's not be over dramatic, but it is the last day as the cast of Afterlife?
Yeah, no, I felt a little bit sort of sad, but I also kind of was really grateful for the experience. And because I'd made friends with Ricky and the cast, I knew that I would see them again. And I think I had a little bit of denial. I think we was at the fair when it was my last day, and it was so much fun. So I kind of like didn't dwell on it too much. I knew that I'd see everybody for the press and do things. But I think today I've started to realise, you know, when it comes out on Friday, I started to realise, that's it, because it is probably one of my favourite jobs I've ever done. But it's really given me a lot of joy, and it's come at a time in my life when, you know, I'm sort of my 40s now, and it's come at a time when I'm sort of experiencing things coming up, like, you know, grief and you know, connection with all the characters. Like, you know, I really identify with all of them. So I think when I kind of left, I tried not to dwell on it too much, and I've tried to just accept it and look at it as a real gift, because you can go into that other side where you're like, oh, it's never going to happen again. But we're trying to get Ricky to do a Christmas special, so can you get him to do one?
Yes, please. I'll be all up for that. Tony,
right.
When I first spoke to you for season 1, I asked you, why did you do this? And you went, well, Ricky asked me, so I just said yes.
Yeah.
Did you ever think it would be what it has become today? I mean, over 100 million people have seen this worldwide.
Not at all. No way. I kind of knew what the show might end up being. I didn't realize how it would touch people the way it has. And I genuinely had no idea it was going to be watched by that many people. I sort of forgot that the way Netflix works, if you know what I mean. I forgot that when it comes out, it's everyone can see it around the world. And they all watched it. And the reaction has been incredible. No, I never would have guessed. And I'm glad I did say yes. I'm glad I didn't.
I remember reading the script though when he said, oh, I've written this thing, you know, I'll send you a script. I remember thinking, oh, great, this is going to be hilarious, you know, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
I'm like, Oh my God. I was just absolutely, just reading that first script, I thought that is very rare that a script can upset me that much.
I think I was even a little bit earlier than that. He phoned me up and said, I'm writing something. I think he had like 10 pages or something. And then said, he said, oh, elevator pitches, a man's about to kill himself. And I went, what? I was not expecting that. I was expecting, it's a sitcom set on a cruise ship or a sitcom set in a police station. And he went, yeah, a man's about to kill himself. And I went, right, this is interesting. And he said, I've not written it yet, but would you want to do it? And I probably shouldn't have said yes. Probably should have talked money first. But, and it was such an intriguing idea. And Ricky, it was sort of, I never would have guessed it would be this big.
I got a text on a Friday night saying, have you got the script? And I thought, hey? And I said, what script? And he said, do you want to be in the show? I've got a little cameo for you. And I'd just done Life on the Road with him. And I said, I wanted to text back, sorry, mate, I'm really busy at the moment, but I was not working. But I thought, he's quite literal, Ricky. He would have said, okay. And I just was like, of course. And then they sent me the script and those two, it sort of just evolved for me. So I was just a little cameo, and then that scene in season 1 where I go in and take the cake, the improv, and it just evolved, didn't it?
I think the thing of come from those little phone calls from season 1 and how involved Ricky let us be in the development of it. He writes all the funny lines, don't get me wrong, but little bits of our character, the quirks and things that he's let us be involved with, that's been great going through 3 series of that.
And there's certain people within the industry, if they ask you, do you want to do something? You say, what time do you want me there? I did it with Simon Pegg. It's like Ricky is everything he touches turns to gold, and it's really good. So you're just like, yeah, what we're doing.
And I think, I think that's what it is. It's been so surprising for all of us, because I remember when it first came out, they just took a scene, and it was the scene where there's an overweight kid in the playground being teased, and the media went nuts going, how dare he, blah, blah, blah. And then I just went, have you watched yet? Have you watched what he has delivered for us? And even down to this series here, where I went, I know what this is going to be all about. I shouldn't have, but I was just like, yeah, this is going to be all about his grief. But it wasn't. It was also about every single person is carrying a burden with them. You just don't know about it, do you, Diane?
Yeah, it's true. And that scene with the little kid in the in the schoolyard, who's shouting pedo at Ricky. If you just saw that scene, you'd think, it was a funny scene. But because it comes out of anger, he just doesn't care anymore. And this grief, he goes through anger and he's just given up. He's just, I don't care if I offend people anymore. I don't care. I'm just going to say what I think.
Yeah.
So if you see it in context, it's brilliant, because you see every stage of grief that he goes through.
Yeah, and he's got to go there and push it for it to be that effective afterwards, to show the reason why.
Yeah.
Because we all do things in anger, and we all do things when we're blind to feeling sad and angry. And I think that's what we have to see. Like, life is like that. Yeah. And then some, it's not always happy. It's like, it's brave, that, I think. And he never pushes it too far, but it's brave.
It shows the evolution of the character as well, because I don't think the character in season 3 would do that either. No. I think you're right, he's kind of, the character's understanding a bit more of, it's not all about him, and there are other people have other issues too. And it's probably better to try and help them than have a go. Not that he still has a go at some people in the 3rd series, but they're probably more deserving than a little chubby ginger kid.
Have you noticed it gets worse?
Who loves it, by the way? That little boy, he's so proud.
Yeah.
He turns up on set, he loves it.
So he should be. That's
it's clever because the first person he insults is when he talks about the dog with the litter, off the lead. But then when it becomes the child, it's the worst thing you can do. So it gets this moment of like, he's really lost it, and it's a pivot to the rest of what goes on, really.
Yeah. Oh, look, I could talk about this series to you guys forever. Unfortunately, we have to wrap. So I'm going to end it as I started it, and just say thank you. Thank you for bringing this into our worlds. We really need it right now.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you
nice
for the kindness.
Thank you. Nice to speak to you again.
Yeah.
You two will have to find another excuse this time for the next
absolutely.
time.
Christmas special.
Christmas special.
I'm up for that.